Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you for joining me today. Oh my goodness. I hope you're having a wonderful day where you are, and it's just great to be here as always. Thank you for joining in. I'm glad to be here as always, and we have another special book, another good one indeed on this lovely Tuesday morning, and this one is called Baby Narwhal. So I hope you're ready for this one and ready to enjoy it. And yes, as promised, Baby Narwhal comes out today. Hello! Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're ready for a wonderful story indeed. And yesterday we read Baby Otter. I know you enjoyed that one, so I hope you enjoy the one that we have for you today as well. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, please let me know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you today. Thank you for being here. Absolutely love it that you're here for story time. Another great story awaits us. And of course, tomorrow we have more stories coming up this week. Stories that are celebrating our little ones, members of the Storytime community, and of course the little ones out there. Thank you so much for joining in. And it has been such an honor meeting such amazing kids out here on Storytime, and just wanted to give back and just say, hey, I see you. Thank you so much for being here all the time. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and I hope you're enjoying the stories that we're reading and learning from them, and of course as we continue to teach each other. Thank you so much for being here. Let us see who is with us this morning. Good morning to you, Sam Black. Good to see you back. Thank you so much for joining in today on Storytime. How are you doing? And please remind me, Sam, who is joining in with you. Zola and Iris. Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Zola and Iris, thank you for being here. Absolutely love it. All the way out in England. Thank you for joining us, Sam. Good to see you back. Zola and Iris, good to see you back on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in today. Amanda, West, Sarah, and Nathan, and Sunny, and Windy, Illinois. Sounds about right. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely love it that you're here. And yes, indeed, you're here with us. Snow, shine, rain, you're here with us. Thank you so much, Sarah, Nathan, and of course, Amanda West. And I hope that you enjoy the sun, and hopefully the wind is not too much. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you. Lovely babies out there. Thank you so much for joining in. Tori Gamble, good morning to you, and Liana in Bothell, Washington. Thank you so much for joining in. And you say happy Tuesday to everyone that is joining in Storytime today. Well, thank you so much. And if you're watching later, we hope you have a lovely day where you are, or you had a lovely day by the time you see this. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, positive vibes from Tori and Liana. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, indeed, Storytime community. Oh, one of my favorite people, of course, is here. Clay, how are you doing? And Rocco, not forgetting you. Chriselle and great-grandpa June, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us from El BC. Yes, indeed. Joining us from Long Beach, California. Good morning to you, Clay, Rocco, Chriselle, and Great Grandpa June. Always a pleasure having you here with us. Sam Black, one more time with Zola and Iris. Thank you for joining in. Good to see you back. Lomani, Lee, and Kerry, and Sacramento. How are you doing today? And say we're excited to learn what a narwhal is. Yes, indeed. The book just tells us a little bit about it, but I hope that later on you can dig into those libraries, dig into those books, and find out some more. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, indeed. This book's inspiring us to research and find out more. Thank you so much for sharing. Absolutely love it. Kerry and Lomani Lee, welcome to Storytime one more time. Mrs. Knight, you say so cute. Yes, out in Arizona. Good to see you here. Good morning to your class as well. Is school out for you yet? Thank you so much for being here. Here in Oakland, we are out on Thursday. The kids, school ends for the kids on Thursday. Yes, indeed. Good morning to you. Ellen Edwards in Chicago, how are you doing today? Good morning to you. As always, welcome to Storytime. You're saying cloudy Chicago. Well, Ellen, thank you for being here with us, and I hope that we're able to cheer each other up and stay happy. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Abraham, good morning to you out in San Leandro. And of course, Terry Kasweka, how are you doing today? And say, we are ready for today's story. Yes, 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 absolutely. And we'll be getting started very shortly. Good morning to you, baby Bia. And you say, happy Tuesday, everyone. And you're out in Seattle. Of course, you're joining in with Amanda today. Thank you so much for joining in and say, we're cozy and ready for today's story. Absolutely what is needed. Cozy. I hope you have a snack as well to go with that. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, baby Bia and Amanda. Thank you for being here. Sally Mpande, how are you doing with Jonathan, Daisy, and Mapalo? And of course, not forgetting the big sisters, Pearl and Chanda. How are you doing? I know school is back up. I hope everything is going well. Thank you so much for joining in. Another one of our babies. How are you doing, Borden? In Vermont, Burlington, Vermont. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining us. Chrissy, good morning to you as well. Thank you for being here and ready for story time. Oh my goodness. One of the latest members of the Storytime community, baby Theo, is here. And of course, Christy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining in. So much love for you. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, bringing baby Theo today. Thank you for being here. Good morning, good morning. And of course, congratulations on your little one. Baby Theo, thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you. And they're saying school is out. Oh, good for you. I hope you get to enjoy the summer. Thank you so much for sharing that and say for joining in from home with Marina and our pups. Well, Marina, thank you so much for joining in. And of course, to the pups, much love as well. Thank you so much. Let us get started with our story for today. And this one, oh, it is definitely one of those sweet. It's a tiny book, sweet, sweet book. And I hope you enjoy it. Baby Narwhal. And this one, just like yesterday's, is illustrated by YU-HSUAN HUANG. And I hope I'm getting that name correct. You can try it for yourself. Let me see if I can get the name there. YU-HSUAN HUANG. Thank you for joining us. And of course, we are reading it with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. I do apologize to YU-HSUAN HUANG for totally butchering that name, but I hope that you still look out for more of their books and get to enjoy their many stories. Thank you so much for joining in. Let us get started with our story for today. All right. Baby Narwhal. And it's a finger puppet book. Yes! I'm right here. My name is Baby Narwhal. All right. Baby Narwhal is ready for today's story. Are you ready? Yes. Oh, well, you and Baby Narwhal are ready for this beautiful story. Tell us more. When Baby Narwhal swims, he glides through the water with his tusk in the air like that. way up in the air. What else do you do, Baby Narwhal? Well, when Baby Narwhal is hungry, oh, what happens then? Mama Narwhal shows him where to hunt for fish. Yes. Shh. Oh, the school of fish waiting for Baby Narwhal. Ah. What else? Well, when Baby Narwhal sees his friends, he clicks and calls to them. Are you making those clicking sounds right now? Oh, when Baby Narwhal sees his friends, he clicks and calls to them. What do you do when you see your friends? When Baby Narwhal dives deep underwater, he holds his breath for a long time. Oh, you can do that? I wish I could hold my breath for a long time. Can you hold your breath for a long time? When Baby Narwhal dives deep underwater, he holds his breath for a long time. What else? Well, when Baby Narwhal plays, he leaps and splashes in the waves. Whoosh, 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 like that. Yes, when Baby Narwhal plays, he leaps and splashes in the waves. What do you do when you play? Oh, tell us one more thing, Baby Narwhal. Well, and when Baby Narwhal is tired, he rests in the water close to his family. See you later, Baby Narwhal. Bye. I'll see you next time. Oh, the end. Thank you so much for joining me for Baby Narwhal. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed that lovely book. Baby Narwhal, did you enjoy telling them the story? I did. I enjoyed telling you the story. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me today on Storytime. I hope you get a chance to get a copy of these books, or indeed find it at your local library, or indeed your local bookstore if you're able, and have fun with your little ones. It is a definitely fun book. As you can see, I'm enjoying it here, but a great story as well. Great way, I think, to dive in and learn more about narwhals, right? Thank you for sharing that, Lomani Lee, and of course Kerry. I think it's great. Do that if you can. Find out more, and if you can, share with us here on Storytime. But this has been Baby Narwhal, a finger puppet book, and this one read with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco and illustrated by YU-HSUAN HUANG. I hope I got that name correctly. I really do hope so. But next tomorrow, we're back with another story. And this one will give you a little insight of what happens behind the scenes. As you can see there, this one is called Smile Baby. Yes. We want all those babies out there to smile. Join me tomorrow for this one and come smile along with me. Thank you for joining in. I hope you're ready for tomorrow's story. For today, thank you so much for joining in. As always, it is such a pleasure being here. And of course, all the little ones, Baby Bia, Baby Theo, Borden in Vermont, Liana in Bothell, everybody that is joining in, Lomani Lee, everybody, Clay, I am so glad that you're here for story time, and I hope to see you on many, many more story times to come. I wish you a wonderful day today, and let us see one more time who was with us this morning and got to enjoy that. Well, one more time, happy Tuesday to everyone, says Baby Bia and Amanda out in Seattle, and say they were cozy and ready for today's story. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining in. I absolutely appreciate you. Ingrid, good morning to you. How are you doing? Looking forward to reading a story together very soon. Thank you so much for joining in. And you say ready for today's story, having a free day. So I'm able to enjoy. Well, I am glad you're having your free day. And you know what? Thank you so much for making story time part of your free day. I am appreciative of that. Thank you so much for being part of this wonderful community indeed. Thank you so much for joining in story time. Ingrid out in Argentina, and of course the Reading Club. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Good morning to you, Borden, one more time in Vermont. And of course, good morning to you, Sally Mpande, Mapalo, Jay, and Daisy. And of course, the sisters are at school, but we still say hi to them, Chanda and Pearl. And hopefully everything is going well at boarding school. Thank you so much for joining in. Baby Theo and Christy, how are you doing? Yes, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, Marina and the pups and Mrs. Knight. Thank you so much for joining us on Story Time today. I hope you enjoyed that lovely book that we had to read together. Thank you so much. Amanda West, you're saying such a cute book. Thank you so much. Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm channeling all your positive vibes out there. And that's what helps me bring these stories to you, and of course bring them with joy, because you bring the joy here to Storytime. Thank you so much for sharing that. Absolutely appreciate you, Amanda and baby Bia. Leon and Mateo. Oh, well, let me not forget Marlin. I'm not forgetting you as well, sweetheart. Good morning to you out there with Bia and Amanda. Thank you so much. Hopefully you see this later on. Amanda, thank you. Mateo and Leon, good morning to you. Welcome to Storytime. I hope you enjoyed that one, and please do join us tomorrow for Smile, Baby, Smile. I'm excited for that one. Thank you. Bowden and Chrissy say, love the Baby Narwhal. I am so glad. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed reading about the unicorn of the sea. Thank you so much for joining in. Abraham, good to know that you also loved this book. Yes, you say love this book when he was younger. Well, I hope you still enjoy it. I hope it was still good for you. Thank you so much for sharing, Abraham. Appreciate you. Sam Black, Iris and Zola, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely wonderful to have you back. I am glad that you've kept story time in your sights and came to see us today. Thank you so much for joining in. Oh, Dinara, Christy and baby Theo, thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely appreciate it. Oh, wow. Well, good to know Iris is just in the middle of writing a novel story. Well, Iris, you know what? Share that story and maybe I can read it right here on Storytime. How about that? So let me know how that story goes. Looking forward to it. To everybody that joined in Storytime today, much love from me. Deepest love to each and every one of you. And I will see you again when we're back tomorrow for another story. But please remember, when you're out there, follow the health guidelines as they're given. And of course, let us remember that we will see our loved ones soon. And if I know it has been hard, but together, if we're following the health guidelines, we're following the protocols, the time we have to wait before we see our loved ones will be cut short very much. So thank you so much for joining in, and I hope that you're well. I hope you and your loved ones are well. I hope that you've been able to hug somebody as you're getting vaccinated if you are, and of course, if you have reservations, please do talk to people, do talk to experts, and see if that changes your mind at all. I wish you well, everyone out there. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Much love as always. Please do go out there and make a difference in your community. Every little thing that you do matters. I love you so much, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some with people who look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some with people who look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.